Hello, Pete. Welcome to Sunday Comic Investment Chat. Let me know if the audio is sounding okay. Let me see here if I get everything up and running. As always, with this chat, I am recording it as well so that I can load to the audio podcast later this afternoon when I have a chance after brunch. Um, so that other people can download and listen at their leisure instead of watching the live chat. I have been doing this now for a year. It has been about a year since I started the comic investment chat, and I'm pleased that a couple hundred people, I'm pleased that a couple hundred times the podcast has been downloaded and listened to, other than the people that watch the video. So it's good to know that at least some people are making good use of the podcast instead of watching the YouTube videos. It's not like I make money either way, right? So it's not a big deal, but it just it's just another option for people to enjoy the podcast. So welcome Sunday. We just got back from Boston. I was there. Hello, Wobles. My dad's birthday. We were up there to celebrate Dad's 85th. Yes, my father turned 85 years old. Um, he's doing okay. My dad, for those that don't know, had a stroke a couple. Was it? It's been three years now. Yeah, he had a stroke 3 years ago. Not serious. Well, it's serious enough that he couldn't walk, um, couldn't talk for a while. Hello, Azores Tiger. But it took him a while. For a while, he couldn't walk, couldn't talk, couldn't stand. Of course, you can't if you can't walk, you're not going to be able to stand, and couldn't drive. So he lost the ability to drive. So that bummed him out big time. And then he went through, uh, gotta be like almost a year of physical therapy to regain the ability to walk. He walked now gingerly with a cane. Hello, Pig Pan. So he can walk. He has drastically changed his diet. Um, my dad is only on one medicine. He's 85, and I don't have a picture to show you, but he's fairly decent appearance wise for 85. He's not overweight. He used to be taller than me, but you know how old people they shrunk. Um, and he's on high blood pressure medicine. That is the only weakness that he has. He's not on any kind of other medicine, but the his health is limited in that the cause of the stroke, that blood vessel, the vein, whatever it is, that had problem with, it is still 80% plus block, and they can't operate on that. Okay, there's no way to operate on that part of his brain to not prevent another stroke. So since 3 years ago, he had a few minor stroke that caused him some issues here and there, a few minor one. And so my sisters and mom are paying close attention here and there, um, all the time. So he's doing okay, but I told my siblings he's 85 years old. Even he admits he lived a good life. So it is what it is. Hello, Scott Farr. Oh, Scott Farr is heading there to Disney with his son. Uh, Enjoy. Hopefully you there. Well, is there such thing as a good season for Disney? The years ago, Years ago, Disney was slow around Christmas and Thanksgiving, but that's not the case anymore. Now they are busy all around. You know why? The foreigner. A lot of to Asian tourists that does not celebrate Thanksgiving or Christmas go to Disney World during those time frame. So it's always crowded. So for those that plan to go to Disney, and if you try to plan to go when it's not as crowded, I hate to say it, as most Floridian will tell you, the best time to go to Florida is during the week, during the school year, when other kids are in school. So all you gotta do is, if you can, take a day or two off when school is out, when school is around, and then go to Disney. And then you can enjoy Disney World because 99.9999% of the kids is in class. So if you can spare a day or two of no school, that's when you want to go to Disney World. Skip the weekend, skip the holidays, skip everything, especially if you don't like long, hot lines. Ooh, Halloween. Ooh, boy. We were there. We were not at Disney World. We were in Orlando a couple years ago during the Halloween thing. Madness. Oh my God, madness. We stay at Universal Studio Park. That's like a big resort area for Universal Studio. Whew, boy, that was my first and last. This is when Anthony was 3 years old, something like that. Oh my God! After that, I'm just like, get me out of here. Okay, so welcome to Sunday Comic Investment Chat. So let's talk a little bit about comic and investment. Oh, one more thing before I continue is, for those that pay attention to my auctions that I had over the summer, and I talk about, once October is here, I will resume selling again. That will take place starting next month. I shot a preview video of the stuff that I plan to sell slash auction. I shot that already. I have not shot the close-up videos of those books yet. So my goal is to do that sometime this week. Once I do that, then it probably be maybe mid-November that I will start the process of selling slash auctioning off my books again. As I mentioned a few months back, my goal forward, going for the next 7 years or so, will be to sell off about 2,000 books from my personal collection. Okay, these are the better stuff. The stuff I sold, I sold 1,000 books. I literally sold slash auction slash giveaway 1,000 plus comic books over the summer. Spring was like early summer, but now that we're down to the 2,000 books from my personal collection, they're gonna be nicer. Some could be expensive. Definitely a lot of high grade stuff. But yeah, so keep that in mind. Normally, I don't ask anyone to hit the notification bell and any of that stuff. But if you're interested in buying some of my books, maybe you should do that so that you don't miss out. Because yes, I do put out daily videos, and for some people, that's way too much to give a damn. But if you're interested in buying and bidding on some mostly raw comic books, I will grade them individually, unlike what I did over the summer, where I sold many things in big lots. There will be some There will be some lots still, but with the more expensive books, books that can be 50, 60, or $100 raw, high grade, silver age, bronze, they will be individual. Hello, TH Comics. All right, so with that out of the way, housekeeping, all the housekeepings are done. Let's talk about comic investment. One of the things that I talk about this all the time on my channel, and I need to repeat it again, is I have a very common saying with many of my friends, many of my stock trading friends that I communicate with. Usually they ask me, they're trying to gauge my sentiment, like what do I think about the current stock market. And for the past year, literally the past year, my sentiment has been do not buy and hold, because the market is so volatile that I reduce my reply to 6 words, and they understand. Most of my friends, most of my stock trading friends, understand my lingo. Buy on red, sell on green. Those are the 6 words that I use very often in the past year, since last October, when the market started to have a problem. I do not think we will have a major stock market crash. If you pay attention to the stock market, last December was very ugly. It started in November, but from the peak to the trough at the end of December, the market went down like 20%. It was ugly. It was painful. It was scary for a lot of people. And since that moment, I had a lot of communication with a lot of people. Some of them are not seasoned traders. Some of them are fairly new to trading as well. And it was scary. It's scary even for me. Okay, I will be blunt to say that it's not scary and ugly. When the stock market is down 20%, it wiped out a lot of wealth for a lot of people. Hello, Thomas Churchill. I'm not immune to losing a little money in the stock market. Okay, not immune whatsoever. So, but TH Comics said he's down 30 to 40%. Maybe you're talking since last December or just December of last year. I hope you have regained most of that. What happened is, the stock market is very much a reflection of human psychology. Okay, we buy, we follow, we move like a herd, like lemmings. Okay, people talking about lemmings, trust me, the stock market is the biggest showcase of lemmings behaviors. Biggest showcase. Okay, because you see a lot of people making the wrong decision because they follow other people. Okay, the stock market is, you can see that on a daily basis. Okay, when a stock go way up, parabolic, jump 30%. I'm sure for those that follow the stock market, you heard of Beyond Meat, right? That stock that went from like $25 early this year to $250 or something like that. It went like tenfold in a span of like 6 months because everybody was going crazy on plant-based. Okay, oh my God, the end of the meat thing. We have a substitute for meat. So take a look. The stock symbol is B as in boy, Y, N as in Nancy, D as in dog. BYND. If you're not familiar with Beyond Meat, take a look at that stock chart where it went from like 25 to almost 250 or something like that, and now it's back down to 100. Okay, when a stock go from 25 to 250, everyone was jumping on the bandwagon. Well, maybe not everyone, because I was not on the bandwagon. Okay, it went nuts. People went gaga goo goo. Okay, I personally like to try it out just to see what the heck it's all about. I mean, I couldn't find any Beyond Meat in my grocery store, so if I can, I would buy a package of Beyond Meat and do a video comparing what a Beyond Meat burger tastes like compared to a real hamburger, just for curiosity's sake. What's all the hoopla is all about. So a lot of people followed the herd. That's why the stock went up tenfold. And since peaking a few months back, the stock has retraced down to about 100, between 100 and 105 or 110, something like that. Why is that? Why did the stock drop from 250 to 110? The herd moved the opposite way. Okay? It's that simple. The stock go up because more people want it. Stock go down because less people want to keep it. Okay? It's the law of supplies and demands are very easy to see visually with the stock market. It is there in plain daylight for everyone to see. Now, what's funny is that Beyond Meat recently, as the stock was sliding, right? Sliding from 250 to 110. They came out with great news. McDonald's is testing Beyond Meat in a certain market. And just last week, Dunkin' Donut is launching sandwiches at all the Dunkin' Donuts worldwide with the product. So you would have thought that those kind of big news where a small company that just got huge contract from Dunkin' Donut and possibly a massive contract from McDonald's would take off. But no, when the herd moved the other way, whew, the herd doesn't care. The herd does not want to listen to common sense. The herd doesn't care about the future. The herd, it just follow the herds. It's insane. Okay, logic left the stock market a long time ago, long before the comic book hobby. Okay, you try to operate in the stock market area with common sense, you might get your head chopped off. Okay, because the stock market, regardless of what the pros tell you, you turn on CNBC, Fox Business News, and you see all these professional with CFA degree, with all these things. Yes, I have all of those degrees as well. They talk about multiples, earning, cash flows, all of this. None of them have ever talked about how the stock market move on emotions, greed, and fear. Period. Over with. Okay, it's nonsense. I watch CNBC every day still, more so to do the opposite of what the professionals are yapping about, because it's nonsense. So much nonsense on CNBC and Fox Business. And that go hands in hand with the way comic book is. Okay, any market, housing market, stock market, comic market, guess what? Why does a book go up? Why does Amazing Fantasy 15 had such a great run until this year? Because everybody was talking about it. Everybody hype about it's the best investment in the world, safest investment in the world. Okay, you don't see me. Did you see me on my channel talk about how everybody need to go buy a copy of Amazing Fantasy 15? No, I did not. It was so hard that, I stayed out of the business of advising people to buy that book last year. Hello, Dr. Van Schiller. Indeed, TH Comics, okay? I have used that word Costanza a zillion times when it comes down to any market. Stock market, real estate market, hot book market, key market, you name it. You have to train your brain to think the opposite. It is so hard, okay? I'm not saying it's easy. It is so hard. Recently I made good morning, Christopher Joy. Recently I made a couple video that talk about how the comic market, the auction. I recap the auction, saying that some of the books are not doing well and is the market crashing. Some people got upset. Some people actually got upset. How dare you? Stop talking so badly about the market. You're not helping the market. Really? You think my opinions on the market is causing Amazing Fantasy 15 to go down by 30%? Or Hook 181 to go down 30%? You think it's me? Delusional, okay? So it's the market is not one person even told me the market is not crashing. Stop talking about as if it's crashing. When a big key dropped 30%, what do you call that? Live in reality. Delusional does not pay the bills. Okay, delusional does not pay the bills. Okay, I can't say enough. It's just nonsense. People, the sooner you live in reality, the better. The sooner you train your brain to stop thinking like the herd, the better. Okay, it's just, I don't know that many people that get successful, that become successful because they follow the herd. Let me know if you know anyone that gets successful because they are followers. Okay, so it doesn't work well for a lot of people. I'm not saying that following equal failures. Big difference between what I'm saying, that I don't know that many people that are uber successful because they are followers. You can be doing okay. Okay, it's not a guarantee failures to be a followers, but you need to man the F up, think for yourself, stop needing confirmation. Yeah, does that sound familiar about what social media is about? Confirmation. And just do the opposite of a lot of people that's yapping on YouTube. Trust me, I'm not the popular channel, so you can do the opposite of what I'm saying if you think I'm the one that is wrong. It's okay. You would not offend me one bit if you think I am the moron instead of the other people. Good morning, Sean Hokus. BTC Moon Guy, say hello. New viewer, thank you for enjoying the videos. That's all I do. Make the videos, and if people like them, great. If people hate them, and some people do, can't help you because I'm not gonna stop. I am the T1000. Cannot be stopped. I cannot be stopped. So yes, back to the Costanza thing. I can't stress enough that it's not easy. I did not develop the Costanza mindset until later. In my first few years of trading, I was pretty much a herd follower. Okay, so and so say on TV this stock is a good buy. I gotta go do it. So slowly over the years, I learned to research on my own. I learned to understand the psychology of the market. I learned that people on TV talk up their books. Yeah, what does that mean? That means that the people on TV that go on CNBC, let's say you have IBM, okay, and you want the stock to be higher so you can get the F out because IBM for a long time has been a garbage of a company and a garbage of a stocks. So what do? You go on CNBC and you say, I love IBM. I see bright future. I am all in on IBM, right? That's what you're saying. And hopefully the people that watch CNBC will bid up your books, bid up IBM, so that you can get the F out at a higher price. You can get out. So the pros that go on CNBC, they usually do the opposite of what they are saying. Okay, when they go on CNBC and trash a stock, oh, don't buy this. It's a piece of garbage. There's no future here. You can guess what they're doing with that stock. Okay, so and it's no, yeah, Bitcoin. When Bitcoin was under 4,000, everybody hated. Now, in the past few months, when Bitcoin is back to 8,000, everyone love it. So would I buy Bitcoin now at 8,000 or 70 or 7,500? Less likely. Okay, I need to hear hate to buy something. I need to hear a lot of love to sell something. When someone says love it, you know, it's you got to do the opposite. I do this. It's so hard. It is so hard to train your brain to think the opposite. And one thing that I learned and apply to myself, I do not participate in stock message board. Okay, because when you go on, any stock message boards where people discuss about any certain stocks, you're gonna get both sides of the argument going to a pissing contest on who's right and who's wrong. Nonsense. Okay, I'm just gonna do my own thing. I don't care. And that's pretty much the way the comic book market is. Okay, when somebody get all riled up because I say something is crashing, I don't care. It's not going to stop me from believing what I believe, and I'm just going to do what I do. Okay, if the herd hates Hulk 181, I'm buying Hulk 181. If the herd love Amazing Fantasy 15, I am avoiding that book. That's just the way it is. That's how I approach trading keys. I cannot harp enough on the fact that when everybody wants a copy, the best thing you should do is sell them one of your multiples. Okay, there's no need to hoard those books. The more people want something, it does not mean the more you should hoard that book. It's the opposite. You hoard things, you buy multiples of something when people don't want them. Now, does that mean that you should buy everything that crash and burn? No, absolutely not. Okay, just as look at the first appearance of Apocalypse. Would I recommend people to buy X Factor 5 and 6 because that book is completely done? No. That book was nothing special before the hype of the movie, so it's back where it belonged. Nowhere. So There are things to hoard, to buy when things are cheap, and then there are things to leave alone, ignore because it should be ignored. I'm sure I just offended a bunch of people. Hey, how dare he say ignore comic books? We should be in this hobby for the love of the comic books, not for the potential. Hey, you know how the internet is. People just cannot accept the fact. Yeah, Glycine Airman, keep your X Factor 6 and enjoy it because nobody's gonna want that book unless it is dirt cheap. Okay, it's not. It's a disaster. That book is a lesson to learn for a lot of people. Yet a lot of people, I guarantee you, a lot of people that bought that book, overpaid for that book, have not learned their lessons. They still watch all the videos that hypes about first appearances, and they just still can't stop themselves. It's very hard for people to look at the facts, okay? Because it's easy to just ignore it. I mean, that's just a one time. They like to live in delusion. Okay, so let's ignore that one mistake because it's a one time thing. That's the only mistake because I should still buy first appearances of villain because because every channels on YouTube is talking about the next movies. It is what it is. Okay, I can talk sense, but you know this hobby is full of lack of common sense. David's comic finds. Yes, I'm sure some people will heard what I said and said that he hates comic books. He make videos about comic books and he hates comic books. I hate ETA Nick so much because he talk about comic books, yet he slap books, he ruins books, he press books, he does all kind of things. He molests these damn books. Speaking of all that craziness, 2020 is coming, and I have a new series that I will launch starting next year. I already shot a bunch of videos, but you know me. You know me. I like to switch things up. I don't, it's rare that I keep a series for multiple years. I do something once a year, twice, maybe 1 or 2 years, and then I get tired of it. It get boring. So I switch up. So the new series that I tentatively have named is Nostalgia versus Reality. Yes, Nostalgia versus Reality. So just to give you a hint, okay, of what that series is about, it's because that's one of the biggest problem with this hobby is that a lot of people get those two things, nostalgia and reality, all mixed up. Okay, they're mistaken. That's what they're doing in this hobby is nostalgia. But in reality, it's not nostalgia of any sort. Okay, it's addiction. It's all kind of nonsense. But trust me, I don't want to go in too deep into the series, but those videos is gonna be, it's gonna bring a whole lot of hates because a lot of people that live in delusion is not gonna like to hear that I'm telling people that, hey, you can talk about nostalgia all you want. What you're doing is not nostalgia whatsoever. Hello, Zen World. Dave Silver Age. Dave is here. Hello, driving and listening. Yes. Thank you, BTC. And by the way, BTC, congratulations on owning Bitcoin at 250. You made a wise move. I don't own any Bitcoin. Okay, hey, like I said, how I approach stock trading is how I approach any investment or flipping keys. I stick to what I know and do well with what I know. I try not to do too much. Okay, I can't be jack of all trades. I can't be good at everything. Okay, I have too much going on in life that I want to enjoy than to be obsessed with this hobby. There's a lot of people in this hobby that love this hobby a lot more than me. That want to know everything and like to know everything and want to collect everything and want to know everything from golden age to modern books and this and that. And hey, if that's what you want, go for it. For me, there's only limited space in here that I care to allocate to this hobby. Like for example, golden age. I'm not all that big in golden age, not 30 years ago, not 20 years ago, not 10 years ago, not this year. I do own some, but it's not a passion of mine whatsoever. So I'm not going to exert that much energy into golden age, just as I'm not going to exert any energy going to the LCS to buy modern books. I don't care. Okay, it's I have tried. Okay, I have tried. I have we all enjoy the hobby very differently. Gosh, I talk about that a zillion times on this channel. So I can't stress enough that people just got to do what make them happy. I just don't find joy in reading modern stuff. I mean, I watch a lot of, not a lot, I watch some modern books review, um, because I just like to hear what people are reading now, what is good potentially. Maybe if I see a trade here and there, I will pick up a trade to read. Sure. So yes, there's a few channels that I follow, but I will be very honest. The majority of the stuff that I heard that is awesome, great to read, must read. Usually when I pick up a trade and read, I'm just like, really? Raise your standard a little bit. Woo! Some snarky remark right there. Oh my God. He said raise the standard as if my standard is not high enough. What arrogance. Oh my God. Buy TH Comics. So yeah, it's when it comes down to it, I have a very hard time digesting new comic books, even from creators that I love. Okay, I love Walt Simonson, and I try to read Ragnarok. It was just not my thing. I mean, it is what it is. I just can't exert that much efforts and energy into modern books or golden age. Some people love to talk about golden age, and because that's what they love. Nothing wrong with that. If you love golden age and you want to talk about golden age all the time, so be it. Just don't talk to me. Don't try to convince me that golden age is what I should collect, what is hot, what is a must-have because it's rare this, rare that. I don't care. Okay, it's people need to stop trying to justify why they collect certain things. I think the sooner people can just accept the fact that they collect what they want, if they can figure that out, if people can understand why they collect what they collect, they don't need to justify why they collect something. I collect this because it's rare. Whatever, collect what you want. If you want that, fine. Move on. It's you do not need to justify why you collect anything with me. Okay, that's how I approach this hobby. I don't want people to feel a need to justify. My advice is the less you feel a need to justify why you collect something, the better off in the long run you are, because you are collecting for yourself. When you are trying to justify what you're doing is the right thing to do, maybe you are trying to convince yourself that you're doing the right thing, maybe you're trying to convince other people that you're doing the right thing, or whatever. I don't know. I don't have a degree in psychology, nor do I care to try to understand why people do what they do. You know, it's you hear this all the time. You hear people on YouTube talk about this all the time. Collect what you love. Yeah, but then we all know a lot of people constantly need confirmation that they're doing the right thing, right? So why, if you're collecting what you love, why do you need confirmation from others that you're doing the right thing? What are those confirmation? Hearts, yeah, likes, clicks. You don't need that. You shouldn't need it. That's why I for the most part, one of my key reasons to avoid Instagram, because I'm just not. I don't want the hearts. I don't want the likes. I don't want to. It's a different methods of enjoying the hobby for me. I don't get it. I understand it's a new thing. It's something that maybe, and I'm not even going to say it's for the newer collector, because there's a lot of older collector, older than me, that love Instagram, that like to share, show off, whatever you want to call Instagram is. People like that, and it's okay. It's just not for me, because sharing and showing off was really not a part of how I enjoy the hobby. I like to talk about the hobby, right? I mean, if you know my channel by now, I like to talk about the hobby all the time, because I do. But this, sure, I show more things now than ever in the last few years. In the last 3 years, I certainly have shown more things that I bought, more things from my collection than my first 3 years on YouTube. Trust me, if you go back to my YouTube video from 2012 to 2015, you're not going to see a heck of a lot of things that I show, because I didn't. But it's not, it's because some people want to see it. So I try a balance between showing some stuff that I have, and not show a lot of stuff. I mean, I said this many times. I bought a ton of stuff still on a weekly basis, but I don't need to do a weekly haul of like 50 books. Does anybody care to see that I bought 5 copies of Nova One? It's I buy things to sell for a profit. I don't need to show a whole lot of boring stuff. There's plenty of channel that like to show off weekly massive hauls of books that they bought for pennies, for cheap, to flip and blah blah blah. That's fine. It's just not me. It would be boring for me to sit here and do a video every week and show you the keys that I keep buying and flipping. You don't need to see that. Mr. Miracle, hello. I just look at the clock. It's 10:44, so I got about 15 minutes before I gotta get things up and humming as far as a kitchen for my weekly brunch. Yeah. Robert Roslowski said a good video from you would be how much annually your flips amount to. Well, if I do that, it would be amount to bragging, and it would annoy a whole bunch of people. Um, and I'm not sure what good would that do. That's all, which bring me to another housekeeping thing that I forgot to mention. Hello, bye BTC Moon guy. Um, I will be ending the Path to a Key series. Also, that's another series that I will end as well because I think the goal to show that you, anyone, can do what I do by go on eBay and find things and double and triple and make some profit of books can be done. I think I achieved that goal with that series, um, and I don't need to show anymore. Um, it's more of a hassle to do the series than to just do what I do. You know, I do this on a weekly basis. I don't need to keep tabs for YouTubers, um, and it's also another form of bragging because oh look at he's showing a book that he bought for 100 and sell for 500, and that's okay. It's that series is for the most part it go against my philosophy in life in that one of the big Ferengi rule is what for those that watch my the comic rules of comic book acquisition. The Ferengi way is one of the key rule is what? Whisper your way to success. And I prefer to do that because part of the problem with Path to a Key, and I already shot a video which I will load explaining why I'm ending the Path to a Key series, is that part of the reason is, if I show you a book that I bought this week, it reveal the sellers. A big problem for me in the past 7 months as I shot Path to a Key is that I had to pick and choose the book that I want to include for the video, because if I see a good source, a new seller with great books, why would I want to reveal the seller to the whole world so that I would invite everybody else to buy the books away from me, right? So it's bad enough that, I had to reinvest the money from Path to a Key, but then I have to like pick and choose like, ooh, I just saw a great deal, but dang, I don't want to use that book for the series because that seller is fairly new and he mentioned about having a bunch of books that he planned to list, and by doing so, I'm gonna invite a bunch of people to compete with me. At the end of the day, I'm just like, why? What's the benefit? Am I making so much money on YouTube that it's good to review every good source that I buy from on eBay? No, sorry, ain't gonna happen. So yeah, I've thought about it for a while. I mean, I've been thinking about that for the past 2 or 3 months, and I'm like, I'm gonna kill that series because enough is enough. I think I illustrate plenty that it can be done. It's not that hard. So if anyone that can take away from that series and say and see for themselves that hey, I'm not talking a lot of hot air. I'm not saying oh it's easy to flip book on eBay. It's all kind of discount. There's all kind of bargains on eBay. I'm not lying. Okay, so hopefully that's the takeaway for those that enjoy the series, is that even though I will stop making videos for that series, at least they see that I was not talking out of my what. It's there. The deals are there. If you look, if you bother to look, the deals are there. Jeffrey asks, have you decided on a key? Yes, I have. I will keep flipping and building toward a showcase 4. If the right showcase 4 shows up, what is the right showcase for? Okay, the right showcase for would be something between 2.5 and 4.0. The right showcase for would be something that have a vibrant color instead of a faded orange. Don't want that. Um, so yeah, if the right showcase for show up next year or whenever, I will keep building things and putting things in the pot, and I will, you know. Plus, the other thing is, okay, so far the path to a key has grown to somewhere in a 3 to 4 thousand. Okay, at least 3,000. I have bought and submitted uh, over a dozen books for that series. So far, two or three is still at CGC. 2 or 3 is at auction house, but overall, when everything is said and done, of those 12 books or so, it would be probably, the pot has grown from like $300 to about 3,000 or more. But if you follow my channel, I also bought, slab and sold 5 Nova 1 9.8. I can tell you the profit from those 5 Nova 1 is just as much. Okay. He's bragging again. Ah! So the reality is the pot is pretty big because I've been doing it for a long time. Okay, so I don't want, another reason why I don't want to continue the series is that if the right showcase show up next month, I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, gee, my path to a key is only up to $4,000 and I can't buy that showcase. Well, the reality is the other 100 books I flipped this year is 10 times more the profit. So I can buy whatever I want. If the right book shows up, I don't need to sit there and wait for the series. The hell with that. Okay, so it is what it is. Once I load that video sometime in December, when I said that to make the announcement that I'm ending that series, it will make sense, I think, to a lot of people that I'm not in this chat because not that many people watch the Sunday Comic Investment Chat. But it will explain to people that at the end it's for my own benefit to stop the series. Instinct asks, what did I think of the trashy new Hellboy movie? I have not seen it. I was disappointed to hear how bad it was. I liked the first Hellboy movie a lot. I was not a big fan of the second movie. But the first one I enjoy very much. I have seen that multiple times. I was hoping for a good Hellboy reboot because I enjoy the character and I like the actors. It has nothing to do with the books. I couldn't care less if the books is hot or with a lot of money. I don't care. I have a copy, but it's not a book that I bought and hope to get rich with. But yeah, I was bummed out that it was not good. I will watch it eventually. I'm sure that movie will pop up on Amazon Prime or Netflix sooner or later, and I will sit down and spend my 2 hours to see how bad it is. It looked great. The trailer looked great, but yeah, I was bummed out that it was so poorly reviewed. Tony Myers asked, what grade did your Green Lantern come back as? Not yet. That's one book that has not. That's one of the 3 books that is still at CGC. If it's a 9.0, it's going to be a triple. If it's an 8.5, it's going to be a double. It's bananas. Thank you, Comic Addiction. He said that he understands why shutting down Path to a Key. Yeah, it's at the end of the day, I thought about it. I'm just like, okay, if my goal was to show people that it can be done, I think I have done that. but I don't want to limit myself on what I can buy, because I have done enough and saved enough in the pool to get myself a showcase for should the right copy shows up. I'm not gonna sit here and let that copy go and say, because Path to Key only have $4,000 in it, I can't afford that book right now. BTC Moon Guy said, yeah, it's the benefit, but it's a very light benefit. It used to be a great benefit, but the benefit is much lesser than it is now. For those that don't know, for years, up until last year, right, I can drive to CGC, I can pick up from CGC. So it saved time. Okay, if you mail something to CGC, it takes 2 or 3 days or longer, whatever method you ship. And then when you get to CGC, it takes more time for them to log it in the system. So it could be from the time that you put the books in the mail and the book shows up in CGC system, you can look at 5 business days or even longer, right? But for me, I can pick up the phone, call, schedule, next day, drop off. So, and the book appear in the system that same day. So my book will get ahead of the line for business day before another person. So that's a big benefit. And it's safe on cost, Riaz. Not huge. You're talking $10, okay? It's not, there have been people that criticize my Path to a Key because I am doing it wrong, because I'm not showing the true cost. I am not factored in the cost of shipping to CGC because I have the benefit of living there. Driving to CGC, which is 20 miles away, cost me about $3 in gas. Yeah. $4 in gas. And usually when I drop off books at CGC, it is like 15 books. So let's allocate the cost of gas to that 15 books, so that it's like, really? Is that the kind of reporting that is missing, that make the series not truthful? Yeah, trust me, there are some moronic people making some moronic comment on Path to a Key. Moronic, okay? I said moronic. Whew. Some of the comments I get daily, pure stupidity. And then living close to CGC, when they ship the books out, now that I cannot pick up the books in person anymore, it costs the same, okay, as you live anywhere else. So I'm not saving money. The only thing that's safe is time, because I live so close. When they ship out my box, it's here the next day. When CGC email me, say, we ship out your books, the next day UPS guy shows up, you might have to wait 2 or 3 days, right, to get your book. So that is more convenient. But is the book that I'm getting back is gonna beat the market at a higher price because I live closer and get the books back 1 day or 2 days before you? Not really. It's not a big factor in the price, right? So the benefit is not as great as people think it is, okay? Sure, when I drop off the books, the biggest benefit is not saving $10. The biggest benefit is I beat the line by 4 days, and I don't have to worry about the postman damaging my books. I hand the book to CGC myself. That is the biggest benefit. No doubt about it. So yeah, it is time. I've been yapping for 1 hour. So anyhow, thank you for joining me. Hopefully the chat is lively and entertaining as I thought it was. See you sometime in December or November. Okay, so definitely no chat next week. This is not a weekly kind of thing, so no chat next week. Maybe before Thanksgiving. But for sure, look for my sales and auction announcement video next month. And let's see how things will go as I start to go through the process of selling off 2,000 of my personal collection. No! Yes, Christopher, bacon, egg, pancake, French toast, you name it. It's coming. Daddy's coming. Bye. Have a good Sunday. Enjoy your football.